Hi, I'm Nathan Spain, and I'm here with Patrick Keith here, and we're here at the Upper Hudson Shores Park in Watervliet. We're also here with David Fisher Upper Hudson Kayaking Veterans Group. The David Fisher Upper Hudson Heroes Kayak Group played a large role in developing opportunities for wounded veterans in Watervliet. The organization was developed to give disabled area veterans the chance to experience the sport of kayaking. They have started an instructional kayaking class, and many of the veterans are using the new docking system, or they are participating in the classes held at the park's boathouse facility. Stay tuned for our presentation and our interviews with Bob Loya and Mike Manning. Thank you. Hi, I'm Nathan Spain, and I'm here with Mr. Loya of the Watervliet Dome. Mr. Loya, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great, thank you.
How did you get involved with this program?
About 2 years ago, I was standing right here, actually, and a gentleman in a kayak came up to me and said, geez, it'd be nice if somebody taught veterans, disabled folks, how to kayak. And he says, you guys got a perfect facility down here. And I says, well, gee, that's a good idea. So we talked a little bit more about it, and I went to the mayor and I said, got this idea from one of the kayakers. What do you think? And he says, well, write it up and bring it to me and we'll decide. And he says, let's do it. And so 2 years later, we have a bunch of volunteers and a bunch of veterans who are really becoming self-sufficient and learning new skills. And actually, when we get them in boats, they feel just like other folks. So that's how it started.
How long did you know David Fisher?
I knew David Fisher since he was in kindergarten. So that was a long time. He's very close to my son and to my family, and we were very close to his family.
What is your favorite memory with David Fisher?
His impersonations of Elvis Presley.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, this is Patrick Keith here, and Nathan Spain. We're here with Mayor Mike Manning. How are you doing today?
Doing well. How about you guys?
Doing great. Now, can you tell us how this program started?
Well, the park is our last remnant of waterfront here in Watervliet, because 787 behind us, way back when I was a kid and you weren't even born yet, 787 took out what was our waterfront. So we've put a lot of energy and effort into making this more usable and attractive for citizens of Watervliet as well as our neighbors. And the program started, I guess, with building the pavilion and the bathrooms down the other end, and then we added the barge restaurant, the Rusty Anchor, and most recently is what we're calling here the dock area. We have a boathouse off to our left, which we did a release for. An RPI crew is in there as our tenant, and that has solar panels on top, which pretty much covers electricity for the whole park. And then we added the docks, and most recently we added an attachment to our docks that helps handicap or disabled or others who can't get in off the main docks to launch safely a kayak or other watercraft. So, and then the rest is kind of window dressing. We've through the storms and doing all this work, this got all torn up. So now we've got a nice stable platform here that doesn't get all muddy and such. So, long story, but that's how it started and brings us to today.
What was your favorite memory with David Fisher?
My favorite memory, and most of my memories with David were, I was his coach in football, and he was part of a group of kids that were a nice group of kids, good players, and I have burned in my head, seeing Dave play, because he was one of those guys that played and didn't really complain when you had to do the work to get ready. He just approached it, I imagine, as he approached his job in the National Guard and serving overseas. So I still picture Dave as a young man football player who is enjoying playing football, enjoying life.
Oh, thank you very much.
Thanks for attending.
Day.
Welcome to the shores of Watervliet, our last vestige of our waterfront. After the installation of 787 many years ago, this is what we're left with, and we put a lot of our time and energy into the park here to make it as useful as possible, as attractive as possible, and with help from federal government, New York State government, and our friends in the county, we've been able to pull off a lot. Standing here with me today is our County Executive Dan McCoy, Albany County Sheriff Craig Apple, and in the second tier is the kind of honorees of the day, the group from the David Fisher Upper Hudson Heroes, which is a program, a brainchild of Bob Loya on our staff with his connections from the crew using the facilities down here, where we used our municipal swimming pool to help train disabled or other veterans to get them comfortable in the kayaks and then bring them down here to actually launch on the river. And our latest attachment to the docks is a special dock so that folks who can't launch from the main dock can comfortably launch and enjoy the river and the facilities down here. Also with that group is Lee Kinlan, a vet himself, who provided the legal support for this group as they move towards a formal organized nonprofit group and can sustain this unique opportunity for our veterans. And Kevin Schufelt from the Rusty Anchor, was probably one of the, well, it's one of our anchors here, no pun intended, that gave the park a different personality. Kevin's bar restaurant is providing lunch, dinner, as well as entertainment, and another way to further enjoy the river. Also with us today is our tenants from our boathouse, the RPI crew team. That was a great accomplishment. We announced last year the boathouse with the solar panels, which pretty much covered electricity for the park. We've also added, as safety features, as you can see here on the right, we have emergency call phones that go direct to the Albany County 911 Center. We saw that as a concern with all the activity down here in the park. What happens if we have, God forbid, an emergency? Now we have a direct link there. Ties directly in with our 911 system. We also have probably the group to thank why the docks are still here after the aftermath of Hurricane Irene, the folks from Strex and Watervliet, who shored up the attachment features that hold the docks together as well as hold the dock to the shore. They also shored up the dock so that we could add the attachment for the disabled launch. With us as always is Charles Patricelli, Watervliet Housing, and the crew from WVLT. Thank them for coming. And members of our summer workforce who neatened the place up and got all this stone down. This area here was where a lot of work was taking place to get the docks in. We've also added the cobblestone features. That's 100% recycled material from the old cobblestone roads of Watervliet. So the place is looking great. And now I'd like to turn over to County Executive Dan McCoy for a few words.
Thanks, Mike. Thank you, Mike, for having me here today. You talk about partnerships, and it doesn't amaze me that Mayor Manning here, the accomplishments that he's done in the City of Watervliet. And this is another example of it. And being a veteran myself and still active with the National Guard, and knowing David Fisher and his mom Vicky and what they're doing behind us is, it's unbelievable. When you go out and you serve your country, and unfortunately, if you make the ultimate sacrifice, we try to remember people. In Upper Hudson, I want to say thank you for keeping his memory alive and what you're doing. So thank you for all that. But we also have to address the veterans that come back, and I got to say, Mike Manning here has done that to give disabled veterans an opportunity to enjoy some of the things they did, or re-experience some things they might have never have tried kayaking. Now they can. And they have a launch here, as you can see, very accessible. And I compliment Upper Hudson for training them and getting the experts in to make this happen. But again, it starts with partnerships. The Dormitory Authority, the Sheriff's Department, Albany County, and that's like the theme lately in Albany County for the last 2 years. We got to talk partnerships, because that's how you make it happen. And I'm just honored to be part of it. And Mike Manning, I got to thank you. You know, not as a veteran in serving this country still today, and this whole idea of helping veterans and connect them with the water, it's unbelievable. Thank you.
Thank you, Dan. Just to be clear, I get to stand up here with this stuff behind me and showing the stuff we pulled off, but hopefully you know by the list of names that I read off that we get a lot of support, and in most cases I just have to provide the backdrop. The ideas are coming from the team here, the team being more than just the City of Watervliet. So our next speaker, Sheriff Craig Apple, been talking with Craig about more to do here in the park. Tragically, about a year or so ago, we had a rescue launched here from the park. This, aside from being a great recreational area, turns out to be a great spot to launch rescue operations on the north end of the Hudson. And we continue to have talks, have a punch list of items we'd like to add. We've run power down here, we've run water down here. We've added this new light that can be turned on if we're launching an operation from the dock. So again, the interest and the willingness to help and be part of the team, further reflected by the Sheriff's Department. Also mentioned, after Hurricane Irene, we did use the work alternative folks that the Sheriff can provide to help with the cleanup. We had quite a mess down here, and as you go up and down the park, you'll see that it's, well, if you hadn't seen it before, you wouldn't imagine, but it was pretty much covered with mud. And today you can look around and see what it's like. I did mention, Dan mentioned the New York State Dorm Authority, which provided the grant money for the last additions here. And they could not be with us today. Sarah Antonucci from the Dormitory Authority expresses her congratulations and thanks again to the Upper Hudson Heroes for what they're doing. So next up is Sheriff Craig Apple.
I really have nothing to say after that. You know, look, it's always a pleasure to partner with Watervliet. Watervliet's one of the more progressive municipalities in Albany County. They're always thinking outside the box. They're always trying to use alternative energy to make things more efficient, to help the burden on the taxpayers. But this was a special venture. It's always a pleasure to partner with the county executive, who's always looking for collaborative efforts. And this was a great effort. And what more can you say to, you know, just to send some free labor down with the inmates? We're a minor stakeholder in this. This is the City of Watervliet project. We're proud to partner with them. We're answering the 911 calls. God forbid there are any from this booth. But this is more about taking care of the people that protect our freedoms, and we're very proud to partner with them. Thank you.
Okay, I'll wrap up. Perhaps on the way out of your park today, if you look on the left, just as you leave the park, another addition to this latest round of things we did here. We have a Erie Canal block with a pictograph pretty much in the spot where the side cut, the 23rd Street side cut, left the Hudson, went up 23rd to the canal. We have a block there with some info on what it looked like back then. So check that out on the way out. Otherwise, we're finished here, but we would like to invite anyone who's interested to come down on the docks, check out the docks themselves, as well as the new attachment for launching craft for disabled. And if you have any questions, we'll all be around. So thank you very much for coming. See you down on the docks.
Nothing to do it at all.
Hi, I'm Carly Spain. Thank you for watching our presentation of the Upper Hudson Heroes at Hudson Shores Park in Watervliet. Stay tuned and wait for more videos on WVLT, your community station, brought to you by the Watervliet Housing Authority. Thank you.
They've stormed beaches,